I'm going to tell you a story. And by the end of this video, if you follow along, you will have more questions than I do. In 2019, I receive a letter stating that I am in violation for code ordinances. Two of them. One regarding weeds, the other regarding a truck that is in disrepair. So naturally, I go down to the code enforcement building and I ask, what do I need to do to fix this? The gentleman there tells me, well, you just need to clean up the weeds and make the truck look presentable. So I do that. This is back in 2019. 2.5 years later, March of this year, I received this from the Kenton County Sheriff. If you can't read that, that reads civil summons. And if you go a page into it, it says civil summons for foreclosure on my home. Foreclosure. I think this must be some mistake, of course. How could that possibly happen over two code violations? Two $200 code violations, so $400 total. The city of Bromley, mine, is trying to foreclose on my house for $400. So I talked to several lawyers, and they tell me that per Kentucky law, the city has the right to do that, regardless of the amount owed. Now you're probably asking, how could it possibly go to that? Well, unbeknownst to me, in 2020, they filed 2 liens against my home. And I was not served with any paperwork regarding those liens. I didn't even know it happened. Because any homeowner, if they receive a letter talking about liens, they're going to react in some way. They're not just going to ignore it. I certainly wouldn't have. But I received nothing about liens. So they have liens on my property, so then they can try to foreclose on me. So to get out of that situation of the $400 I owed, I had to pay $1,750.70. I'm letting you catch up with that amount because you're probably as blown away as I am. That's over 4 times the amount of the original $400. So I pay that. I pay the $1,750.70. And then I go to a city council meeting in April. And I go there with an open mind. I think if I explain myself that they're going to be reasonable and agree with me, well, we made a mistake, obviously. No, they told me that it was code enforcement that did all of this. They passed the blame onto code enforcement. They said I had to take it up with them. So I did. And I went there, and they told me what all of you probably already know, that it's the city that decides to foreclose. Because on here it says the city of Bromley versus me. Nobody else, just them. I go back to city council with the information that I got, and I have a lot of questions. And they don't want to hear my questions. The mayor tells me to stop asking questions. And any of you that know me know that if a question must be asked, I will ask it. He informed me that if I don't stop asking questions, that he will have me escorted out of the city building by the police. So I was on vacation that week, so I asked the question. And I get escorted out by the Park Hills police. Now that should not have happened. In the city of Bromley, it is so small. You know all of your neighbors. I have no idea how it got to that point. So, like a good citizen, I went to my city council. I thought they would resolve it. They didn't, and I was escorted out. So, what can happen if that's happening to me? That's happening to my neighbors down the street. If not today, then tomorrow. That has to stop. And the only way to stop it, I see, is to be involved in the government. So, since the mayor decided to let foreclosures like this happen over petty amounts regarding code violations that don't endanger life or structural integrity of a home, it was regarding weeds in an old truck, aesthetics. The city's fine with taking your home over that, over $400. So the only way to stop this process is to get involved in government. So I've decided to run as mayor for the city of Bromley. And I will be stopping stuff like this. It will not happen to anybody under my watch. You won't get served papers over $400. We can get the money a different way. Multiple ways. Anything to stop a foreclosure. That should be the last act that a city does to collect money. And it shouldn't even be done for that.